Face centered.
Hi guys,
Speech off.
it's VI Life with Kelly. I hope you are having a wonderful Thursday, a triumphant Thursday. So let me see here. This video is going to be about urinary tract infections, also known as UTIs. If you are a person who is constantly getting UTIs and you have no clue as to why, you have one currently, and you are just tired of being stuck in this cycle, then this is the video to watch to get some insight on those things. All right, anyhow, this is VI Life with Kelly, which stands for Visually Impaired Life with Kelly. I am visually impaired. I have been challenged with visual impairment due to a car accident going on 24 years now. And this is my channel where we talk all things life with Kelly and visual impairment. So definitely love for you to subscribe, share, and comment below. Give me some feedback, and definitely like this video. That was really super encouraging. And also keep up with me on Instagram if you are a social media person. Then I have Instagram, VI Life with Kelly, and I also have Gmail. If you're ever interested in collaborating or sending me some information you'd like me to share, in 2 days will be the last day of the month. Can you believe this? Getting ready to be August, you guys, the 8th month of the year. But on July 31st, I will be uploading a video showcasing small businesses. So it's not too late to get your information included on that video. Depending on how many businesses I have, it may be a part 2 and part 3. Who knows, to be continued, but definitely look for that upload on July 31st, 2021. I am in lovely Buckhead, Atlanta, Georgia. It's July 29th. Oh my gosh, it's Shekinah's birthday. So I gotta send out a lovely text to a lovely girl, an amazing college cheerleader that I've had the pleasure of watching grow into a wonderful and lovely young lady. So happy birthday. It seems like I know somebody else that's born on this day. I'll probably think of it in a minute. But yeah, you guys, so let's get into it. So there are many reasons why you will encounter imbalance in your reproductive system, particularly your urinary tract, because now the number one thing that you need to realize when you keep getting this is sugar. You have an abundance of sugar in your diet. White products, white flour, white sugar, alternative sugars. You are a Pepsi drinker, Coke drinker, Diet Coke, Zero Coke, Diet Pepsi. You are something that you like contains tons of sugars and syrup, Frosted Flakes, and you could try to come for me and say, no, I don't do any of that. Everything I have is zero sugar. Then you are a person who is enjoying light, fat-free diet foods. Lots of them. Your whole world is around diet, light, fat-free, zero calorie. How do you think they're able to limit the fats out of these foods? Processed foods, foods that are in a bottle, foods that are in packaging. How do you think they're able to give you a taste, the same taste or similar taste, and remove all the fat, all the calories, all the sugar? You have to put your thinking cap on when you decide to put something in your mouth or on your body that promises you the original. Now, the original has XYZ, and then they have the low fat, the light, the diet, the fat free, the cholesterol free. They have like 2, 3, 4, 5 different versions of the same product, right? The way they're able to do that is by synthesizing or providing a chemical substitute, which anytime you're taking away from the original to provide a substitute, that is going to be dangerous for the human body, because this is no longer food. These are chemical byproducts that the body's only going to be able to, one, send directly to the system that's going to break these things down and get rid of them for you. Now, unfortunately, the majority of the time, these chemicals, these sugars, these synthetics, these genetically engineered, genetically modified, all of these things are going to collect up in your urinary tract because you haven't given your body enough of what it needs to flush this crap out of your system. The majority of us are dehydrated. We're not drinking the right source of water. And this is why we're challenged and afflicted with diabetes, pre-diabetic scares, because we are drinking abundance of products that do not serve us or do not put our bodies in the position to detox and hydrate. If you can't detox and hydrate, you're slowly drowning in filth. Think of it that way. That's going to help you drink more fluids. You're slowly drowning in filth. So the inside of your body is slowly filling up every single day with more and more filth and waste. Okay? And on top of that, it's concentrating. So what went inside of you as some form of a liquid after you've chewed it up and got it down your throat is now thickening and hardening within your body, because anytime, if you left a clump of oatmeal on the stove this morning, left it there, even with a lid on there, it's going to start drying out. So when you get back home, it's not the same oatmeal that you left in the morning. So it's the same process that's going on within your body. You can't throw all these things inside of your body, but don't give it the water it needs to digest and process and hydrate these products. So if you are a person that is challenged with urinary tract infections, and you could tell me, oh no, I drink tons of water, but what do you do for a living? See, the climate and what we do for a living, what we do in a day, it factors into how much fluids we need in order to live our best lives. If you are exercising, and you could be a person who exercises for a living, so that's like personal trainers, fitness instructors, construction workers, all therapists, massage therapists, physical therapists, occupational therapists, housekeepers, landscapers. There's so many people for a living, they are exercising. And it's not so much like 1 and 2 and step aerobics and music. It's so much manual labor that goes into their job duty to get the job done. And they're out in the elements. So they're out in the hot and they're out in the cold and they're out. Okay, all of that is taking away from your hydration. Okay, so you're going to have to consider your work environment, your daily tasks, what it is that you need to get accomplished in a day. And you're going to have to realize, if you work for a living and you're 200 pounds, you need 200 ounces of water flowing through a day. Yeah, if you're exercising for a living, you need 200 to 300 ounces of water flowing through you in a day. You need to be having 3 to 5 bowel movements, 8 to 10 urinations. You need to be eating and fueling and refueling your body. You should not be going without meals. There's no way for you to have enough energy to get through your day when you work in the elements and you're exercising in order to produce the manual labor required to get your job done. So you have to consider these things. Other factors that will contribute to you having urinary tract infections: large consumptions of dairy products, large consumptions of soy, corn, breads. These things will definitely cause and create mucus backup, and it will cause large amounts of mucus, which will trap bacteria, which will impede your ability to hydrate. It will impede your ability to detox, and it will have you in a position where you're experiencing uncomfort and imbalance in your reproductive system. So you really just gonna have to connect with yourself on so many levels. Another thing, if your stress level is always high, I mean, your emotions are high, you're stretched, you have, very stretched relationships, your personal relationships with your parents, your siblings. If you are the firstborn in your family, you're the firstborn child, firstborn grandchild, you're the only child, if you are the matriarch of the family, if you are a person who everybody leans on when the times get rough, if you don't have anyone to turn to your own self, if you've been abandoned, you don't have parents, you don't have a support system, you don't have a family structure, it's just you. All of these things add to imbalance in the body, your stress level, and your ability to have an active, healthy life. So this is going to cause you to have urinary tract infections. Now, there's other things that contribute to that as well. If you're a person that's douching, if you're a person that uses the tampons, I don't care what they say. If you're using tampons, if you're a person that uses Always products, which are riddled with rat poisons, chemicals, and they are just an absolute waste of time. I don't know how there's not a multi-billion-dollar lawsuit against them for the problems that Always products have continued to cause women. But if you are using things of that nature, different contraceptives and lubricants will cause you to have urinary tract infections. If you're allergic to latex, that will cause you to have urinary tract infections. If you're using a lot of colors in your undergarments, if you're like the person that's always wearing black, purple, red, orange, all these different color panties, and you do not have the white insert, even if you're putting the white panty liner in your panty because you want the color panty, you want to be sexy or what have you, that will still cause you to have yeast infections, bacterial infections, and UTIs, urinary tract infections, because your vagina is not designed for the moisture to be absorbed. See, panty liners are designed, and sanitary napkins are designed to take away from, yep, I'm a mom, guys, and I'm recording this video, and so if you give me 3 minutes, I'll be done. I'll be 3 more minutes, please. So they're designed to absorb every last bit of moisture, right? If you're on your cycle, then of course we appreciate that when we're on our cycle. We want every last drop of that absorbed and secured, and right? But every single day, your vagina has moisture and needs oxygen. Your private body parts need oxygen, you all. So when you're putting panty liners there, that's sucking up all the moisture. It's creating a barrier, so there's no oxygen, there's no free flow. That's going to cause accumulation of bacteria, growths, imbalance, and that's going to put you at a place where you're going to continuously have urinary tract infections. So there's so many contributors. You may have allergies. If you're a person that likes scented, you want scented sanitary napkins, you want scented feminine wipes, you putting soap in your vagina. Some women are using body washes, body scrubs, Dove soap. That's a popular one. And I would say, if you just feel that you need to put soap in your private areas, Dove unscented, I would go with that. if that's something you have to do. But if you're a person that's constantly getting these yeast infections, these bacterial infections, and these urinary tract infections, then you need to step away from all things scented. You don't need to put any more soap directly in or around your private areas. Some of us are able to just use simple things like body salts. You may be able to do a light, like a Cetaphil soap, or something hypoallergenic in the baby section. You would need to step over there for your cleansing of your private areas, right? So you definitely have to consider every single thing that you're using. You may need to change body wash altogether. Some of them are just so highly fragranted that it's just going to set your body off every single time. Some of you all like to put things in your bath bombs in your bath water. You like to use all these different products that are going to cause you imbalance. So you have to pay attention to when you get them, what happened. Large consumptions of alcohol is going to cause UTIs, and it doesn't even have to be large. It could just be regular consumption. It can just be if you're already dehydrated, and alcohol is a dehydrant. You just having a fourth of a cup, a fourth of a glass of wine can set off a UTI for you. So you really have to pay attention to the patterns of behavior and step away from those things that are not working for you, especially if you know that you struggle with hydration. If you know you don't drink nowhere near the amount of water and the right source of water, you know you don't eat anywhere near the vegetables and the fruits that you should eat in a day. You know what you're doing and what you're not doing. And some people are obsessed with smelling good. They're spraying like 20, 30 sprays of perfume. You can't do it. You can't. And you think like, oh, it's not a big deal. It's just on my thighs. Oh, that shouldn't do anything. By the time you did that, slid into those leggings, all the lotions, all the oils, they slide up right that leg and go right into those crevices. They're on your undergarments, your underwear, your panties. It's just so many factors that go into urinary tract infections. I will also encourage you to pick up some apple cider vinegar pills. And if I struggled with UTIs, yeast infections, or bacterial infections, I would be taking those every single day. It wouldn't be a day that went by I didn't take like 2 of them. I would make it a point to include garlic in my lifestyle. I would add it to my food. I would take the soft gels with meals if I couldn't add it to my food, but I would get garlic heavy as that is a natural antibiotic. I would get into probiotics to help my body detox. I would definitely change to distilled and alkaline water only, and I would start a program that's helping me manage my stress level. So whether that's looking at my life differently, protecting my energy in my circle, taking people out of it, putting people into it, whether that's creating a support system of believers, of faith movers, I would totally change my approach to life. I would surrender some things that are not serving me. I would totally get into balance. I would start swimming or water aerobics, some type of regular fitness routine, where you can release those endorphins, detach from the day's work, the day's obligations, the ups and the downs. I would stop reflecting on what I don't have, on what upsets me, on the negativity of my world, and I would start embracing positivity and embracing what I do want, even if it wasn't actually going on right now. So it's things that you can do to stop the cycle of urinary tract infection. Anytime you think of these reproductive imbalances, because that's all they are, you need to realize that there's an abundance of sugar, an abundance of stress, and there's a lack of hydration. Those are the top 3 things you need to look at. And those top 3 things will produce diabetes, high blood pressure. They will produce kidney failure. So, those of you all that's on dialysis, it will produce heart disease, arteriosclerosis, strokes, aneurysms. The list goes on and on of those 3 things alone. A diet high in sugar, high in stress, and high in dehydration. That's all it takes. It's those 3 things, and you're going downhill super fast. So I hope this has been insightful for you. I would encourage you to start sleeping in a more peaceful environment, like an hour before bed. Take control of your energy and your atmosphere, and start playing affirmations or videos or music that zens you, that puts you at a place of peace and balance. Make sure the last things you think about and speak about are gratefulness and appreciation and peace, however that looks for you. If that's prayers, if that's speaking into your subconscious, things that you believe, things that you want, promises of God, promises that you've made to yourself. However that looks for you, shape it, mold it, own it, and watch your life transform. Be on the lookout for the turnaround all the time. Speak against what you don't want. Have your body aligned with your thoughts and your beliefs. When these symptoms start coming up, cast them down and redirect your behavior. As soon as you start feeling the signs and symptoms, because if you're getting them all the time, you already know the signs and symptoms. So don't accept it. Automatically get on alarm and change. Okay, you had a sweet tea, you start feeling some type of way, now you're going to have nothing but water for the rest of the day. Take your apple cider vinegar pills, sign up for water aerobics or yoga or step aerobics, or you're going to go for a run, go for a swim, go for a walk. You're going to have lots of vegetables and beans, and so you just switch it up. And you just start casting that down. Okay, thank you, Lord. I'm not going to have another infection. Thank you, Lord, for giving me the signs of being able to do something about this. And thank you that I'm healed and delivered from it. And then move on. Move on, because if you keep having it, that means that you were able to get rid of it, right? If it keeps coming back, that means that you've been able to get rid of it. You've been able to change your behavior to get rid of it. So that means that you can keep it away if you commit to that. If you commit to not having it anymore, it won't come back. Don't anticipate it. Anticipate being healed. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. It went longer than I expected, but yeah, I wanted to share that with you guys. And I think I'm going to do another video here in a little bit about our conscious and our subconscious, and see how that goes. I'm still curly, guys, and yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm just messy curly. That's what I call it, because all I do is just wash and go, and it's not even for real wash. It's like just get in there and enjoy the water and throw some oils and conditioners in there, and I'm done. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Happy Thursday.
Speech on. Hair like that. Selfie soon. Zoomed in. Button. Double tap. Center. Stop recording video. Button.